Welcome to Mach Simanim. I'm Jacob Thomas, and today we will be learning melachim bet perek aleph, beginning a new sefer, kind of. In this perek, we begin by Achav, the son of Achaziah, becomes king, and he falls through a window lattice of his upper palace in Shomron, and leading him to become bedridden. He then sends messengers to the Avodah Zarah Baal Zvuv, a pagan deity, and asks if he will recover. Eliyahu Navi hears that the king did this, and he intercepts the messengers and has a rebuke. Is there no God in Israel that you have to go all the way to Ekron to inquire of Baal Zvuv? Because of this, God will punish you that you will not leave the bed, and you will surely die. And they're very bewildered, and they go back to the king. And the king asked them, who was the guy? They're like, oh, he had long hair, he had a lot of hair, he had a belt, and he's like, it's Eliyahu. So he then begins to send 50 messengers to arrest him. Eliyahu is sitting up on the mountain. The messengers come to him like, man of God, come down here, we're going to arrest you. So Eliyahu says, if I truly am a man of God, let a fire come down from Shemaim and kill you. Same thing happens with the second soldiers that come, but the third captain with 50 men falls to the ground, humbles himself before Eliyahu, and says, please spare my life. And an angel tells Eliyahu that he should go without any fear. Eliyahu goes to the royal palace and he says the exact same thing, that because of the fact that he went to Avodah Zarah and not God, he will die in his bed. His brother, Yehoram, succeeds him in the throne because he has no surviving sons, while Yehoshaphat continues ruling in Yehuda. As a recap, we have the fall of Achaziah, we have the inquiry where he goes to a pagan deity in Ekron named Baal Zvuv, we have the judgment of Eliyahu of this, and the interception of the soldiers, leading to two arrogant squads sent to Eliyahu that get killed in a fire, and the third one that humbles himself. And then we have Eliyahu telling the prophecy to the king and the prophecy happening. We're now going to do the simon, in which we use an olive tree. We're in perek aleph, so we use an olive tree. Achaziah uses the oil from the olive tree to heal himself instead of seeking out Hashem in the playroom. This reminds us how in this perek we have Achaziah who injures himself falling through a lattice, and instead of seeking out Hashem in, Israel, the playroom, he uses all these ailments from all these other places from the oil that's really far away, the Baal Zvuv in Ekron, leading to Eliyahu's rebuke and the arrest of Eliyahu with all the people that are burnt up, but the third survives, and we have the death of Achaziah for his sin. Now one more time with the simon. Achaziah uses oil from the olive tree to heal himself instead of seeking out Hashem in the playroom. We're now going to do a 4-perek back chazar, starting with perek Yud Tet, in which we use a yacht. Eliyahu flees from Yezebel on his yacht and receives a message in the pantry at sea. This reminds us how in this perek we have Yezebel saying everything's going to go back to normal, wants to kill Eliyahu. Eliyahu runs away, gets food from a messenger, giving him strength to go on a 40-day journey to Mount Horeb, which God shows him these big signs and then tells him that God is not in any of the signs. Why are you here, Eliyahu? We have a still small voice. Perek Chaf, in which we use a cafe. Achav and the enemy king sit down in the pantry cafe to make a peace treaty. This reminds us how in this perek, Ben-Hadad comes to Achav, says, everything you have is mine. Achav's like, yeah, sure. Ben-Hadad continues, and then Achav's like, wait, hold up. No. They fight a war. Achav wins the first war. Ben-Hadad then tries to fight a second battle. Achav wins again. Ben-Hadad is completely destroyed. And in the end, Achav makes a peace treaty, which is not what he was supposed to do, leading to a prophet to tell him. Perek Chaf Aleph, in which we use a car. Achav puts Navot's vineyard in the trunk of his car and drives away from the pantry. This reminds us, in this perek, we have Achav trying to get the vineyard of Navot, and his wife Izevel creates a whole scheme of bad people falsely claiming that he cursed God, leading to Achav getting the vineyard and Eliyahu coming to him saying, "Did you just kill a man and steal his property?" And Achav to begin doing tshuva. Perek Chaf Beis, in which we use a cab. The cab driver is killed in the pantry while trying to escape the battle in his cab. This reminds us how in this perek, Yoshaphat and Achav joined together to try to take over land in Israel, and Michaiah prophesizes that Achav will die because Yehoshaphat wants a prophet, and in order to stop this from happening, Achav dresses like a commoner, I guess like a taxi cab driver, and in the process, a stray arrow hits him and dies. We're now going to do a 10-question pop quiz on the Sfarim we have learned. In which perek does Shlomo experience a divine dream in Gibon and request an understanding heart? Melachim Aleph, perek Gimel. In which perek does Yehuda and Israel multiply extensively, where each person dwells under his own vine and fig tree? Melachim Aleph, perek Daled, and kind of perek Hey. In which perek do two separate military units of 50 soldiers get consumed by a fire from heaven on a hillside? Melachim Bet, perek Aleph. In which perek does Aram strategist claim that Hashem is only the God of the hills, leading to a battle in the plains of Ephek? Melachim Aleph, perek Chaf. In which perek does Eliyahu hear a profound, still, small voice, a kol demama daka, inside a cave on Mount Chorev? Melachim Aleph, perek Yotet. In which perek does Achaziyahu sustain a critical injury from falling through a lattice and then try to consult Baal Zvuv in Ekron? Melachim Bet, perek Aleph. In which perek does the Queen of Sheba arrive in Yerushalayim with massive wealth to test Shlomo with intricate riddles? Melachim Aleph, perek Yud. In which perek does King David compose a majestic song of deliverance, praising Hashem as his rock, shield, and fortress? Shmuel Bet, perek Chaf Bet. Shmuel Aleph bonus question. In which perek is Shaul publicly identified and chosen as the first king of Israel through a tribal lottery at Mitzpeh? Shmuel Aleph, perek Yud. In which perek does Shimshon utilizes his immense strength to pull down massive pillars of the Plishti temple? Shoftim, perek Tet Zayin. That is it for today. May we be zocha to finish all of Nach, one perek at a time, and remember it day after day. Have a wonderful day.